Here's the other thing is, ladies and gentlemen, let's say it's me. Yeah, see, it's possible you can live your dream. It's necessary that you have the mindset that I'm going to do this. But you've got to take ownership. You've got to decide, hey, I'm going to do this. You've got to take responsibility for your life. George Bernard Shaw said that people that make it in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. You've got to decide, it's me. You've got to say, and say this with conviction, I expect to win. Yes, I think it's important that we say that. You know, if you ask most people, do you want to become successful? They will say yes. Took my oldest son for a walk, my namesake. You know, we always expect our children to do far more than what we do. I said, Calvin, he wants his own identity. He's Leslie Calvin Brown Jr. I stopped him, looked him in the eyes, and said, do you want to be successful, son? He said, yes, sir, Dad. Very good. Let's walk, son. Walk further. Stopped him again. I said, Calvin, look me in the eyes, son. Yes, sir, Dad. Do you expect to be successful, son? And he stood there and he looked at me and his eyes got glassy. And he said, let's walk. And the reason that he said, let's walk, because my son is very bright. Of all my children, he's perhaps the smartest one. But Calvin now, over 30, Calvin now, a single parent of 2 daughters, good father. Calvin, now at this stage of his life, he's behind on his dreams. A lot of talent, a lot of abilities. Very conservative. One of those people, great mind, but he just hasn't developed that, you know, things that we want our kids to have that, I want it. Calvin, you got to kick it up a notch, son. You never thought you'd be in your 30s. You got to kick it up a notch. You got to increase your energy in order to live your dreams. You can't be casual about your dreams. Bill Bailey said, if you're casual about your dream, you'll end up a casualty. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, kick it up a notch. Yes. Yes. You got to kick it up a notch. What is it you bring? And whatever you bring, you've got to kick it up a notch. What is your signature as you look at where you want to go and what it is you want to do? As you look at your product or your services, repeat out to me, please, provide more service than you get paid for. Yeah, see, that becomes your signature. When you look at your goals and look at where you want to go, at your products, at your services, at your industry, you want to set some high standards for yourself. I like what Henry David Thoreau said, do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail. How is it that your industry will be done differently 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What is your reputation in your industry? When you come into a room and you leave, what's the scuttlebutt about you? Do people say, hey, that's a go-to person. That's a person, if you ask them to do that job, you're talking about the job being done. It will be done extremely well. Are you known for that person that stand out with what you do, that stand out with your quality of service, with your standards, always looking for ways to better your best? Are you one of those people that believe, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Japanese believe it ain't perfect, keep working on it. Are you willing to keep working on it? Are you willing to realize that you have not done your best stuff yet, that you can better your best? You've got to take responsibility for that. And now let's go to the next level. Not only is it possible that you can live your dream, is it necessary that you call forth your team and surround yourself with people that you can learn from and grow from, that you must work on yourself and monitor yourself and train yourself, that you've got to begin to take total responsibility for the outcomes that you want to produce in your life. But let us say together with power and conviction, it's hard. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, living a dream, changing your life, is hard. It's hard. When you lose all your money, when you've given it the best that you have, when you have some major setback, it's hard. When a doctor looked at me and said the 3 horrible words no one wants to hear, you have cancer. It was hard to mobilize my mind and spirit, to listen to tapes and music and read scripture and be around other people and seeking out other prostate cancer conquerors to believe that I could do this. It was hard. Never forget, my son said, Daddy, are you going to die? Why are you asking me that? You're not going out much. You're not the bubbly personality that I know you to be. You're not talking much. You're spending a lot of time in the room by yourself, Dad. Are you going to surrender? Are you giving up? Are you going to let that doctor's opinion become your reality? Will my daddy see me graduate? Yes, son, yes. I'm going to fight. No, I don't think it's my time yet. I'm going to see you graduate, but more than that, I've got some other things that I'm going to do with my life. And I thank you for asking me that. But I must tell you that I'm scared. I'm scared. And I've never been in this situation before. It's been easy for me to talk to people and encourage people when they've had challenges in their lives. But it's me. And I don't feel less than a man in admitting this to you. Yes, I'm scared. And I need some help. Repeat after me, please. Ask for help. Not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help. And don't stop until you get it. Yes, see, life is hard. And there are some moments in life when you're going to need some help. You're going to need somebody to speak to you. You're going to need somebody to say something to you. I have a friend of mine, Willie Jolly, who's a motivational speaker. He said a setback is a setup for a comeback. I had to listen to Willie's tapes. I have another friend, Kevin Brace, who's a speaker. He said, Les, come on, man, you can do this. You can make this happen. You can hit a home run. It's a done deal. You are Les Brown. That cancer's got to get out of your body. I said, talk to me, Kevin. Talk to me. That's what I need to hear. I needed to hear those words. I don't care who you are. Many people won't allow themselves to ask for help because of pride. Pride cometh before a fall. Because of ego. Ego means edging God out. No, ask for help. Not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help and don't stop until you get it. I'm here because a lot of people helped me. I'm here because a lot of people believed in me at a time when I was struggling to believe in myself. The other thing is, let us say together, it's worth it. Yeah, see, I think, and write this down, you got to find 5 reasons that will make it worth it for you. 5 reasons. What will make it worth it for you? Mine was, I want to take care of my mother. Mine was, I want to do something with my life. What will make it worth it for you? Mine is, I want to leave a legacy. Mine is, I refuse to die an unlived life. What will make it worth it for you? Repeat after me, please. You got to be hungry. Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do with your life? I said, sir, I want to become a disc jockey. Is that right? Yes, sir. Good. Mr. Brown, you got to be hungry. He said, I want you to listen to Paul Harvey. He's the world's greatest communicator. Always find a coach or mentor, someone that's doing what it is you want to do. Watch them. Listen to how he does the rest of the story. Listen to his voice, Mr. Brown. Develop your mind and develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, young man, you tell the world who you are. And don't forget, Mr. Brown, you got to be hungry. Take the time to develop yourself. So I started training and working on myself. And then pretty soon I came to him. I said, sir, I've been working on myself. I've done the things that you told me to do. I listen to Earl Nightingale all the time and Zig, and I've been reading Dr. Norman Vincent Peale's book, and I'm ready. I practice every day 2 and 3 hours, sir. Is that right? Yes, sir. Very good, Mr. Brown. You got to be hungry. I said, why do you continue to say that? Sir, people that are hungry are unstoppable, Mr. Brown. People that are hungry, no excuse is acceptable. Go out and face the music, young man. And don't forget, stay hungry and make know your vitamin. I went to apply for a job on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. He said, young man, you have any journalism in your background? No, sir, I don't. You have any experience in broadcasting? No, sir, I don't. He said, I'm sorry, we don't have any job for you. I went back and I told Mr. Washington. I was devastated. I said, Mr. Washington. They said, no, they wouldn't even allow me to audition for them, sir. Mr. Brown, don't take it personally. I told you, know your vitamin. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. Be unstoppable, Mr. Brown. You got to be hungry. Go back again. Yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. Young man, weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir, I was. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? Yes, sir, you did. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. Nobody was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 2 days? Yes, sir, I was. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? Yes, sir, you did. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick because someone died, sir. No one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day talking loud, looking happy like I see you for the first time. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you? He looked at me with rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner, and I'd stand in the control room, memorizing their hand movements on the control board and all the instruments, learning everything that I could because I expected to be behind that microphone. Then one day, it was a Saturday afternoon, and a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. Rockin' Roger got so drunk, he started slurring his words. He was about to fall off the chair. He obviously could not complete his program. And there I was, looking at him through the control room window. A Saturday afternoon, I was the only one there, young, ready, and hungry, walking back and forth saying, drink, rock, drink. Drank rock. I'd have gone and get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager, and I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, you must think I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend, Cassandra, and said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn up the radio. I'm about to come on air. I waited for about 20 minutes, and I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records, but don't say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get old Rock out of the way. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P, Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, doubly qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry.
It's a scripture that when I first heard it and read it, I just said, ooh, boy, that's cold-blooded. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. It didn't have any compassion in it. He that hath shall get, and he that hath not, even that he has, shall be taken away. Oh my God. You sing it. He that hath, the person who have, they will get, and the person who don't have, even that little bit they have, shall be taken away. That doesn't seem right. But there's a question. He that hath what? Vision. People without vision perish. Ambition, drive, a willingness to work, stubbornness, perseverance, faith that roars so loudly it doesn't give you an opportunity to hear the doubts that you have within yourself. You have those qualities? You will get. You have those qualities, you restore everything you lost and more. You have those qualities, angels will make room for you. Come. Let's intervene here because he won't quit. She won't stop. We've done everything and they won't stop. Come, we got to intervene now. And then let's go find a wimp, somebody who's stopped. Somebody who's allowing themselves to be consumed by fear. They're weak. Yeah, because God has not given them a spirit of fear, but of power. They ain't got no power. They're consumed in fear. They can't even think straight. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of a sound mind. This place where you are, where I am, this place, we've been picked out to be picked on. This place, we are more than conquerors. This place is a testimony, no test, no testimony. This place, no guts, no glory. This place, faith not tested, can't be trusted. This faith will find a way. Yeah. We need to know that. We need to saturate ourselves with words that will empower us right now. Our children are watching. Our children are not okay. There's an article, Google it. Our kids are not okay. The suicide rate among children, teenagers, and younger is soaring because they're watching us. See, how we live our lives, Jim Rohn said this, how we live our lives, it can be a warning or an example. Did you hear me? How we live our lives, our children are watching. It will be a warning or an example. A warning of what not to do or an example of what to do when tragedy and interruptions and crises show up. Therefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, that having done all to stand. This is our time to stand. This is our time to be actively engaged in this thing called life. Our children are watching us. There are generations yet unborn that are depending on us. There are people who gave their lives, like a John Lewis said, create some good trouble. It's our time. It's our time. You have something special. God is on your side. If God is for you, who can be against you? You got a winning team. I'm looking for, and I'm on a mission for people who can hear me. If at some point in time when you're a little kid or a grown person, you're going through some stuff and you heard my voice. And the reason you heard it, because what's in me is also in you. And the reason you responded and came out of the darkness into the light, because there's a calling on you to do the same thing. You and I are cut from the same cloth. You're branches of the same tree. If my message and my method and my approach resonates with you, I'm not talking about my hairstyle. My kid didn't play hairstyle and I'm kid, no. I'm talking about my message. And you have a message in you. You have a story in you. You would like to help people, the millions of people who need to hear a multitude of voices. I want you to put voice in the comment section. Put voice in the comment section. And allow us to introduce you to the Power Voice system that teaches you how to tell your story, that teach you how to create an experience with your voice and your story, to transform people individually and collectively. Allow me to mentor, to coach you, to bring out the greatness in yourself and to bring out the greatness in others. If that's your calling, I love to tell you, and I will always remind you, a job is what you get paid for. A calling is what you're made for. If it's your calling, put voice in the comment section. If you can hear me in your heart, I'm not challenging your ability to hear with your ears, because you wouldn't still be here with me. I don't have any prints translating my words. So if you're still here, the only reason you're listening, because what's in me, it's in you. You and I are cut from the same cloth. We are branches of the same tree. It's time to make a decision. Put voice in the comment section. We don't know how much time we have left, do we? Michael Jackson said, "This is it." And it was. Okay. Put voice in the comment section. Live each day as it were your last. Because what we learned from the coronavirus, one day it will be. Toby Gatson, we graduated together at Booker T. Washington High School in Miami, 1963. Wow. Classmate had COVID-19 and he kicked COVID's butt. Toby, I'm so happy for you, brother. So happy. Prayed hard for you, but you always been a fighter since we were in high school. Boy, I tell you, you and Larry Littles, who played for the Miami Dolphins, boy, we went to school. We would miss school because we were characters. We were always clowning. We always wanted to know, what will we do next? We came to see each other for cafeteria and physical education. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, that's back in the day. I hear young people today, these millennials, talking about back in the day. They don't know anything about back in the day. I got t-shirts older than them. But at 75, my goal is to finish strong. At 75, my goal is to train the best speakers on the planet. At 75, my goal is to find people who are hungry to make an impact with their lives, who are hungry to learn how to use and access their power voice, who are hungry to live a life that will outlive them. Yeah, you forget your years will forget you. And I want to leave this with you. As you look at your goals, be stubborn about your goals. Be stubborn. Don't give up on your goals. You will fail your way to success. Don't give up on your goal. Know your vitamin, as Suzanne de Pass would say. Don't give up on your goal. Be stubborn about your goals. Be flexible and versatile. Ask for help. A lot of people won't do that because of ego edging God out, because a lot of people, as a result of pride cometh before a fall. Ask for help. Not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. You don't have to figure it out. Get started. Do what you can with what you have, and God will do what you can. We're going to be talking about something that's very important in pursuit of your goals and dreams. Very important when it comes to developing yourself, your talents, your abilities, your skills. Because one of the things I'm going to be talking about, I think, is one of the things that people don't spend enough time on. They talk about time management. You can't manage time. Everybody is 24 hours. What's most important is managing yourself, what you do with your time. People ask me all the time, how do you know so many quotes? I say, I take the time to memorize them. Hello, you think? I put the work in. I use my time differently than other speakers, other trainers, other life coaches. So I want you to think about what it is that you're doing with your time today. And you know what? If you look at it, if you really look at it, all of us are basically the same. The only difference is how you use your time. I know people who have a lot of talent in specific areas, and the difference between them and other people is the time that they put in. Listen to me. As you look at yourself, look at where you are right now in your life, the people that are going to come out on top, the people that are going to make an impact, the people that are going to achieve their goals are the people who are mindful on how they use their time. And one of the things that you have to do is practice. You have to practice being mindful and asking yourself, is this the most productive use of my time? While my friends were having a good time, while my friends were partying, and I love to party, but I spent more time working on developing myself and my skills. I spent more time with my coach, Mike Williams, who wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, than I did with my friends. Why? I like my friends, but they weren't going to pay my bills. But the things that I was going to learn from Mike as a coach, as a trainer, I could generate a lot of money. And it allowed me to be able to walk away from my job. Write this down. If you use your time correctly, you'll be able to generate walk away money. If you use your time correctly, you'll be able to generate walk away money. The average person, time is no big deal to them. How many of you know people like that? Look at it. I mean, come on now, just be honest. Even if it's you, just blink your eyes. I see you. That you know people have a lot of talent, a lot of abilities, a lot of things going for them, but they're not using their time appropriately. You don't manage time, you have to manage yourself. And what I did, I just carved out time every day to memorize a minimum of 3 to 5 quotes every day. You give me a topic, I can roll with it. I don't need a second to think about it, because it's in here. I spend time working, reading, listening, and different ways in which I could use the quote to drive a point home, use the quote to create humor, use the quote to create special moments. And if you're serious, and everybody right now, everybody listening to me right now, you listening to me right now, you want to become a great presenter. In order to become a great presenter, in order to develop presentation power, you have to develop your power voice. How do you do that? You invest the effort and the time. If you want to put in the time so that you can learn a new skill virtually, so that you can get out of a job that's not you, and be able to go into your own business and do it from the comfort of your home. Now, I used to travel all over the world. I enjoyed that very much, but homie ain't traveling no more. No. My buddy Tyrone, he said, no, don't do that no more. Some of y'all don't know Tyrone. Tyrone was a squirrel outside my window on the west side of my house, all right? So here's something that Shakespeare said. He said, defer no time. Delays have dangerous consequences. Let me share something with you. I remember when I had the opportunity to audition for a play at Miami-Dade Community College. Mrs. Werner was the director there, and I didn't show up on time. Somebody else got the role. The reason I didn't show up, truthfully, not just because I was late, but because I didn't believe in myself. I said, well, something else will come up and I'll be able to get that role. Nothing else came up, and that was it. And so we've all had experiences. I want you to think about it. Something you put off, and it cost you. It cost you. The guy was talking to me about becoming a part of my speaker training program. And I said, okay, I got a slot that's available now. So he said, I'll call you tomorrow. He didn't call. And so he saw me about 2 weeks later and said, hey, can I sign up now? Because one of my graduates told him how good it was for them. And I said, no. He said, why not? I said, you have to take advantage of the opportunity and the lifetime of the opportunity. I said, I don't have any openings for you now. But at some time, maybe 3 months, 4 months from now, that slot might be available again when somebody graduates. You have to take advantage of an opportunity and the lifetime of the opportunity. Is there something that you want to do? Some goal that you want to achieve? Something that's important to you? Some place that you want to go? Something that's important that as you look at it and think about it and said, I'd like to do this. One day I'm gonna. No. You don't know. You don't know. Don't operate with it. One day I'm gonna. I remember being with my best friend, Boo. He's since passed. And we were in Nassau, Bahamas. And I said, you know what, Boo? I said, this is the first time you and I, we've been traveling all over the world. This is the first time that we have time that we can spend here in Nassau, and you can find relatives that you haven't talked to in years. He said, oh, I got to get back to the States because I've got to cook. There's a special event for the church. I said, hey, guess what, Boo? They can get another cook. This is enough time in advance, a week in advance. Make a call, tell them that you will not be there because you are on vacation, and we've never taken the time to spend this time together just having fun. We traveled when I was speaking, and we went from city to city. My cousin Boo and I were in Nassau, and we traveled, and I would speak, and Boo always went with me. And so, but we wanted to have some time special together where I would go to a beautiful place and I didn't have to speak. And so I said, this is a place, let's do it here. Let's spend 3 weeks to a month here. Find relatives of yours that live here in Nassau, in Bimini, and we can just chill out. And he said, I can't. I said, why not? He said, because I have to cook for an event that's taking place at the church. I said, you have enough time in advance. Call them and let them know. He said, there is nobody else. I said, listen to me. If something happened to you, they will find somebody else. They will not cancel the event. He did not know, and I did not know. When he said, I can't do it, he did not know that he would not be able to do it for the church, to cook for the church. He died a few days after we got back, and they got another cook. They got another cook. Sometimes we think that we're irreplaceable. We're not. Somebody's waiting. When you have a goal, a dream, or something that you want to do, if you don't do it, somebody else will step in. Trust me, nobody's irreplaceable. Somebody will step in like they stepped in for my cousin Boo, and they cooked. And that's all I was thinking about as I sat there in the front row looking at him in the casket, because he always gave of himself, but we never took time to give to ourselves. And so that moment that we had was the last that we had the opportunity to spend 3 weeks together without my speaking. We never did. There's a quote. Miles Davis says, time is not the main thing. Time is the only thing. And he's absolutely right. So I want to ask you, how are you spending your time? How much are you putting in and focusing on the things that bring you joy, the things that make you smile, the things that make you feel good and laugh? How much time and energy are you focused on spending time with people that you love? You know, in order to live a life of no regrets, this lady, she worked for hospice, and she wrote this book, and it was about living a life of no regrets. And she said people who were dying, that what they regretted was not things dealing with how much money they made in their business, but how little time they spent with people that meant a lot to them, that if they had their lives to live over again, they would spend their time with certain people. At the end of my conversation with you, I'm encouraging you to make a list of some people that you need to deepen your relationship, or somebody that you need to write a letter to and say, hey, I love you, and I just want to thank you for what you've meant to me. I didn't say text them. No, that's impersonal. No, just people don't get letters anymore. I used to remember you would go to the drugstore, you get a little tablet, you get your pens and everything. People text, all right? No, when you write a letter, that's personal. When you take the time to do that, I sent out some letters to some friends the other day, and they called me and say, hey, thank you very much. It meant a lot to me because I put the time in to do it, to think about it. And I just get a card saying all the words that I wanted to say. I said it in my own voice. So I'm encouraging you, one, think about some people who you care about and who care about you, and it meant something to you at some point in time, and you would just like to do something kind by writing them a letter, by taking the time to let them know that you were thinking about them. How are you using your time? If there's something that you want to do in your life that you've been thinking about for a long time, carve out the time to do it. Stop putting it off. There's another quote, and I love quotes. You know I love them. Here's what I love. And this one says, sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Sometimes you don't know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. I was talking to two friends of mine, and they knew Dr. Howard Thurman when they were younger. Now, some of you know Dr. Howard Thurman. Most people don't. He was a mentor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I was so blown away. I said, you knew Dr. Howard Thurman? Yes. And I have these CDs that I was listening to that they gifted me. And I said, what was he like? And you know what they said? Well, he was a nice guy. He was thoughtful. He was quiet. You could tell he was a deep thinker. I said, well, did you ask him things and just try and pull out some ideas, concepts, or thoughts that he might have? I said, no. We didn't know he was all of that. Dr. Howard Thurman, come in, sir. The centering moment. Deep is the hunger. The two primary questions that one should ask oneself in life. Number one, where am I going? Number two, who's going with me? And if you ever ask those questions in the wrong order, you'll be in serious trouble. Oh, he was a bad brother. They said, we didn't know he was all that. Oh my goodness. I've had some moments with people that I did not know they were all that. And I blew it. Yet had I known who they were, oh, I would have maximized that memory. I'd have got more out of our meeting. If you agree with me, I want you to put yes in the comment section. If you've ever had some moments with somebody and you really didn't take advantage of it, it was no big deal to you at that time, and then one day you realize, wait a minute, I didn't use my time wisely with that person. And so right now, in this era, this history-changing era where we are, the people that are going to come out on top, the people that are going to get control of their destiny, the people that are going to maximize this place in history and be stronger and be fortified in terms of their mental resolve and in terms of their families and their skills and their ability to create incredible wealth, are people that are using their times more productively. The people who take the time to learn something new. I say, and I want to say it every day, if you're not willing to learn, nobody can help you. If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you.
Your life is such an example of what's possible. I mean, everybody, I want you just picturing this about this beautiful man. I want you, he's born, his mother ends up giving him to adoption to Mamie, he and his brother. They live in these conditions. He's 10 years old. His mother has to go away for a while. He's got to support the family. He's had all these incidents he's had to observe up close. There are other ones with his mother when she's cleaning houses and this woman claps her hands because she's got to know when her mother's in her room because she's going to steal something, which his mother would never do. This man goes on to influence millions, I mean, literally millions of people's lives. And then this is what's great about all of us making our dreams come true. When you make your dreams come true, the dreams of other people and dreams you can't picture also come true, because then he influences this goofy dude, me, 20-something years old, working at an orphanage, and it inspires me to change my life. So it's just, your life is such an example. And what's interesting to me, Les, is it was mainly tied to mom, meaning you wanted to do something great for your mother all your life. And that was bigger, I think, than any obstacle that got in your way. I'd like you to share this with people because I think most people don't understand the power of having something big you're going after that means more to you than the pain you're going to have to go through in order to get it. I don't think enough people set huge, big goals that are from the heart. Don't you agree?
Yes, you said that. I was listening to you last night. You know, Dexter Yeager, as you know from Amway, he said if the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter. And so when you say dream big, that's major. One, there's power in pursuit. Because as Jim Rohn said, it's not the accomplishment of the goal that matters. It's what you become in pursuit of the dream in the process. Because when you have a big dream, it will introduce you to a part of yourself that you don't know right now, that you will never discover in your comfort zone. Because in order to achieve that dream, you've got to die to who you are now. I must die daily. You must die to who you are now to give birth to who you are to become. I believe that all of us have stories of greatness in us. And follow me as I say this, as this download. We all have stories of greatness within us. In the beginning was the Word. Thou shalt decree a thing, and shall be established unto you. When shall the kingdom of God come? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. When shall it come? The kingdom of God cometh not by observation. They shall say, is neither lo there, lo here. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. And that kingdom is voice activated. So when you speak, people who are in a dark place, you will bring them out into the light. When you speak, somebody's got a gun to their head. When you speak, they'll realize life is God's gift to me, and how I live my life is my gift to God. When you speak, someone who's depressed and feeling anxious will remember, be anxious for nothing. I'll keep thee in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. So that's the power that you bring. And all the products that you have on YouTube that I mean, how ironic. They said, coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. I've been so marinated listening to your stuff. And then you've been listening to me. Come on, look at God. What a mighty God we serve. Come on. You can't make this stuff up.
That's like my honor to think that you listening to my stuff. I got to tell you, you guys, you just get what I told you all, you just have this treasure. It's like, you never want to stop hearing from Les. I mean, he's just remarkable. And the way you pull things and download them from all these places is just, it's mind blowing. I wish I were that great. You
are the messenger and you are the message. That's made. You got people who are speaking out here. It's been hijacked with speaking to sell. We sell people on their greatness. We sell people on the things that they need to do now, the methods, the techniques, the strategy to create the next greatest version of themselves. And when we do that, we know that when we